guys, I got my T-Rex 500 here. I got the helicopter pulled out, and you can tell I've got an old Copter X flybarless unit on it. So I'm going to pull that out, of course, and we're going to upgrade to a V-bar system is what we're actually going to be putting on this particular helicopter. And we're putting the align shaft and head and stuff on there. This was actually an experiment a long time ago. One of the first flybarless units I'd ever had. I had this on, and I just flew the T-Rex 500, and I wanted to put it in a Huey body at one point, so I ended up just transferring it over, and I kept that in there. So anyway, it always kind of flew kind of quirky and kind of weird, and I kind of attribute it to this cheap flybarless unit and the Copter X head and stuff. So I actually want to put the aligned head and the aligned grips and put a V-bar system on there, and then install it back in the Huey. But really what we're going to be doing that's different is the sound system. You can see I've got one of the little 2-inch speakers here. This is the Model Sounds Inc. 2-inch speaker. This is a 4 ohm 10-watt speaker, so I'm going to be throwing quite a bit of watts to this. Now I wanted to put a 3-inch speaker, but as you can tell here the frame where the paint is dried, right there's where the frame is actually setting. So if the frame is here, then you really don't have the room like I thought I was going to have in the 500 to put 3-inch speakers. So if I had a 600 size Huey or 700, I could definitely get away with putting 3 or 4-inch speakers. But so what I'm going to do is I have 2 to 2-inch speakers that Model Sounds Inc. Sent me. So I'm going to put those, one on this side and one on that side, and then we're going to see how loud it is. If it's not loud enough, what I think I can do is simply install another 2-inch speaker, either back here or somewhere, and I could probably even mount them so that they were maybe pointing out of the helicopter instead of down, and just wire them all up together and see what we got. But I'm going to try it with the 2-inch speakers, and we'll see what we got. So anyway, we're getting really close to the install, so what I'm going to do is just cut this hole out to fit that speaker size, and then we'll just mount those right there. So folks, I got the head on the helicopter, and then I went ahead and put a new torque tube and boom here, because I'd had some wear. There's a little nub right here, and the way I actually have this tail assembly on in this direction, the way I want it, the align setup is to be on the other side for their Black Hawk fuselage. I think they're selling that has the tail assembly on the other side. And if you do it on the other side, then it puts the mechanism for your slider on the top. Ends up messing a lot of stuff up for the way that I want it. The Hueys had them on this side, so I wanted it on this side, so it wasn't that big of a deal. All I had to do was drill a hole on the opposite side so the nub could stick in. The previous one I had drilled was a little bit too big, and I had a little slop in it, and that slop had gotten worse over the past 2 years. So I put a new one on, drilled it. Boy, got it good and tight now. There's a little bit of movement, but that's not because of the hole. The hole's actually up here is extremely tight. It's just leverage points. I mean, you got this huge lever back here that's operating your tail boom, and then you go put this mechanical box on here and go up. That makes this lever suddenly a lever that goes this way as well as this way, and you've got a lot of forces trying to move stuff around. So at any rate, now we're going to install the speakers and sound system. Then we'll pull off this tail assembly. All I got to do is pull these 2 screws loose right here, and then pull this out, pop this link off, slide it back in the fuselage, and I'll pop it back in, put the 2 screws in, pop that back on, and we're good to go. So we're really close to getting the sound system installed. Okay, got one speaker mounted. You can see I've drilled the hole for the other, and simply that's going to go down there and drill a couple holes and bolt it up like this one. Yeah, just get it bolted in, and then I'll hot glue these down or out of the way, or silicone them or something, so these are going to be out of the way. And then I just got to find a place to put the sound system in there. which is a little card. I've actually already put some sounds on there, got it ready for the Huey, so now I just got to get it figured out, wide up. Of course, I got to come out of my V-bar system with the throttle and hook up to it, and then also something to turn on and off my other sounds. So we're getting really close to trying it out. So folks, I got the sound system installed. I got my motor unhooked right now. We're just going to do initial startup run, and what I had to do is actually go in and set the default to start off of my throttle, because using this mini V-bar that I've got in here, I actually don't have another switch to hook up to that I can get to work. I'm going to have to mess with that with some V-bar buddies of mine, see if I can't get one of those switches, because I really want to run some other sounds. I've got the Good Morning Vietnam already on there. I also have Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones, and I also have Apocalypse Now with the Flight of the Valkyries on there. But to get those to work, I really need a switch, so I'm going to have to mess with that mini V-bar and see if I can't get a switch off of it where I can turn that on and off. But for now, we do have the throttle working, so I'm just going to do initial startup, give it a little bit of throttle. I have my hold on. Turn my hold off, try that again. So we're going to give it a little throttle. There's the startup feature. So initial setup and shutdown, that's my radio beeping there. I'm going to go out and actually do a short flight on it here in a second, so you guys can see the flight footage coming up right now. Hey folks, this is Bill, Whirlybird Video Productions. I got my friend Chester with me here, Fly with Chester. Chester's actually a retired aircraft mechanic from the military. He was in the Army, and he worked on Hueys and Cobras and
58s,
Blackhawks and everything. So I kind of wanted his opinion, what he thought about the sound, especially that blade chop sound. What do you think about the sound system in the little 500?
It's pretty impressive. It takes me back to my Army days for sure. Brought back some memories.
It sounds pretty good. It's hard to believe the little 2-inch speakers are actually as loud as they are, and it sounds pretty good. That's his phone ringing.
This is my wife, so
he has to get this one. Go ahead.
I can talk to her later.
Oh, we could have ended it.
Okay.
So yeah, the blade sounds a little fast to me, but do you think that sounds okay as far as the do you think
it sounds pretty good, but I would agree that it's probably just a little bit on the fast side.
So what I think I'm going to try is re-step that just like we did the radial engine sound. I'm going to re-step that pitch change just a little bit and try it and see. But it really does sound good, and I think it's going to add to any model. I mean, you guys have seen the airplane now, you've seen the helicopter, and I'm actually going to build a 600 sized helicopter this week, and so you'll get some video of that in a couple of weeks. It's actually going to be the last part of October, going up to Canton, Ohio to visit with the flight test guys, and we're going to do a little cross-function video on doing some scale helicopters and check them out. So look for that very soon, and please rate, subscribe, give us a big thumbs up. Thanks a lot for watching.